Are you ready?
Are you ready? Wait. Oh, they're really bringing back all of the... That's so weird. Are they like looking at your past? Are they looking at your past settings to find them, or?
These are the past ones that we've finished.
That's so weird. Holy shit. It's like looking at your old files like... I wonder if they gave you different endings too.
Yeah. I say we should probably be the funnest to start with the harem.
The harem ending, Jesus. Okay. Let me read the Google documents.
25% power.
Oh. That doesn't sound good.
Sorry about that. Humor messed up. Wrong robotic English. So you're interested in purchasing a house ship frame for an AI constructor. We have evaluated your questionnaire and we have attached a pamphlet for a model which we think will suit your needs. Measuring 89 house ship frame. Marigold is our main stage. Anonymous inspired model for a classic feminine presentation. For the happenings construction that requires both close human integration and elegance in all things in a marigold frame. You can start the day with a cup of tea. Coffee would be too vulgar. In the morning. Feel the breeze of your hair in the afternoon. Go out dancing. Ballroom, of course. The night away. Then finish with a graceful peck on the cheek of your dancing partner. Whole century feedback. We guarantee each marigold frame's visual, audio, tactical, old-facing has been triple tested thoroughly to resign at least 95% of standard human resolution. Of course, marigold is compatible with hardship sensory systems, so whether it is for strategy, Norley with your sweetheart, or appreciating strawberry crepes more thoroughly, we have you covered. The face that launched 1,000 starships. As with all hard-shell models, we offer fully customization, facial designs, and 12 months of free hairstyle reconfigurations with purchase. But Marigold's facial range goes above and beyond expectations. With its animation-inspired ingraded features, you'll actually boost an even wider range of expressions than a typical human. From the subtle of a coy smile to a heartfelt shouting, the slightest twinkle in your eyes of happiness. In Marigold, we promise you'll be able to inspire that ooh ooh waka waki feeling in anyone. Newly upgraded. Of course, that makes the 89 model of Marigold truly special out of the additional features. The state-of-the-art Dream Machine GPU allows for the perfect recognition of your most treasured memories. The patent real-tier system allows for a revolutionary wide range of expressions of despair, plus the all-new Wonder Arm function will allow you to easily grab faraway cups of teacups without ever unrifling your skirt. Truly, the Marigold 89 hardship frame is the model for the happenings female Atomination level AI consumptions. Please consult us for further purchase details. All models are highly affordable. We are looking forward to you back on Earth.
Melvin, it's not showing up on your stream.
Well, oh, duh. Because I have it set for the last game.
Oh.
And I'm not currently playing the last game.
Oh.
There it goes.
Yay.
I'll hear I'm upgrading ourselves with EN to Korean dictionaries. You got us. Should only take a few minutes. My Awakening, unread. For my internal logs, 513 in Queen's Corset of on yours UA study, Pinari House, Imperial Palace, earliest time known. Okay, what the hell is going on? For my first words, I'm sorry. I've suffered a massive system error. Among many other things, the ship's personal database seems to be missing. I have no idea who the hell you are. She's all yours, said the man I would later learn was the Emperor. Do with her whatever you want. She's your responsibility now. Thank you, sir, said an extremely ordained dressed woman. The Emperor left the room without saying anything anymore. It's so good to hear your voice again. I'm Queen Aeon. How much you remember, Mute? Oh, like, nothing, Your Majesty. I know my name is Mute, that this is the Magua, a generational ship, and that I'm supposed to be the AI in charge of security operations. I recited the basic directives that I did know, then things I exploited. The default system language has been changed. My user account has stripped permissions. The system clock indicates a date significantly earlier than the launch date of the ship. And despite being long out of range of Earth, there only seems to be 10 years worth of log files available. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm kinda scared right now. Panic even, I admitted. She let out a slight laughter. Sorry, but how does a computer panic? At that moment, I was running at 600 CPU. Load at a minor risk of overheating, trying to analyze the little amount of data available, and drawing a conclusion. I told as much. How many years has the Manguaha been traveling? Was I activated before, I asked? I'm sorry. I can't answer the first question. But yes, dear, you were. It is painful to see you like this. You're a friend of mine, she said, looking slightly emotional. Oh, hey, don't. I just don't get to know you again. I just get to know you again, that is all. I'm sure I'm still the same as I was before. It is my memory that is gone, not my actual code. I told her. I couldn't tell if she was any good at being reassuring or not. In a straight thread of worrying about analyzing system logs, I wondered, what was this normal? Was I ever any good at reassuring this woman, who was supposed to be my friend? It's okay. We can be friends again. She smiled at me. If you say so, I'm sure of it too, she said. There was rebellion 10 years ago. They ended up wiping the entire computer database. I'm afraid you are one of their victims. Okay, I said, trying to phrase that. If if I was the security AI whose job it was to protect the ship, then that would certainly be a failure on my part. We couldn't risk bringing you back until the rebellion has been completely crushed. You have to understand, there is something foreign embedded embedded in your code. The men in security feel it might be a virus. She trailed off, looking emotional again. I didn't want to wait, but we had no choice. It's okay, I told her. I'm sure it was the right call. I'm here now. I had another conclusion, though. I wasn't I wasn't a primary priority because of my previous failures. I left the ship down, and nobody had faith in my ability anymore. It seemed logical. You'll just have to teach me everything. I don't know about what's happening to the ship, I told her, smiling in the hopes that she would too. You're right, she said, and she did smile. Then she gave me a look. By the way, is that your default appearance right now? Can it be changed? Yes, it's default, and of course I can. Why? What's wrong with the UKSPA uniform? I asked. Well, it's simply, for a woman to wear pants like that, it's inappropriate, she said. It is somewhat of an embarrassing relic of an uncivilized past. Personally, I know you're a good woman, but there are many who would find that very embarrassing. Oh, I said, okay, that's good to know. I guess I've got a lot to learn, huh? Like, I really hope you'll bear with me. She smiled kindly at me. Of course, Mute. I'll teach you how you should be. It's the least I can do for an old friend. I eased up on the CPU load. Calm down with her reassurance. With her here for me, maybe things will be okay, I thought to myself. That is a lot to take in.
Yeah.
Weekly writing assignment number 7. Today I met Mute, the girl in the computer that all the servants have been talking about. She's really cool. She looks like a younger version of Mom, and she always dressed just as fancy. When I asked her, though, she said she's actually supposed to look like a grown-up version of me. I really hope I do look like that when I grow up. She helped me a little to write this. I did most of it, though. She said that my homework sounded like good practice. She also said that she could use the practice too. Even a computer girl has trouble learning how to read. Not just me! She knows way more characters than I do. But she says she even has trouble with it. It makes me feel a lot better. I really like her and I hope I get to talk to her more. She was really patient with me, and not just because Mom ordered her to. Unlike you and all the other servants, she told me she's only nice to people if she likes them. So if I think we could really be friends, it would be really nice to have a friend. Mom said I can talk to her about anything, but she never listens. I know she's your queen and you're not allowed to say anything bad about her, but I don't think she's a very good mother. Anyways, I've almost finished writing my paper now. I can't think of anything else to say. Writing is stupid, and I don't think I'm ever gonna learn all 4,000 characters. This is really hard. I want to stop. Bye. Midday report for 11/10 of the 10th year. This is going to be a regular daily thing, because it really should be. Having a record of this is pretty important, especially if you're worried about patterns. Reach status, normally 99% efficiency. Temperature approximately 21 Celsius, within 0.1 Celsius. 2 burst record at 2:30. At 23:30 last night to Kim Hyeva at 1:27 to Hwang Ji-won. The market opened today at 9. Foot traffic on the plaza at noon was 1,292 persons, slightly below expectations. Several arrests were made, mostly for failure to submit to random inspections. Good talk. Mute. From my internal log, 5:57 p.m. in the morning air garden, Western House, Imperial Palace. Since no one else would do it, I've had to take on the task of calming down my mistress's daughter myself. Nobody else is sympathetic. She's just a 15-year-old woman. Do they really expect her to not have moods like that? Apparently, all the maids are too scared to bring her dinner, or she's in one of her crying fits. What a useless bunch of women. Too bad the queen won't do anything to keep them in line. Hey, your highness, I called out of the garden computer screen. It's mute. Do you want to talk? She shouted at me, facing the other way. No! You're just here to convince me to go along with Mom, aren't you? You have been conspiring with her, I'm sure. Don't shout at me. I just heard you were upset, I said. If it is trouble with your mother, let's talk about it, okay? Like, have I ever not listened to you before? Don't give me that. She turned to face the screen. Her eyes were wet. Her hair was a mess, and I could tell that she had ruined her sleeves by crying into them. Poor girl. Sorry, she sniffled. I told her it was okay, and when I asked again what was wrong, she told me. Mom wants me to get married to some old guy. All the maids have been talking about it behind my back. There was some gross old minister here yesterday, and he wanted me, but nobody would tell me anything because they were afraid of me. Oh, honey, no, you've got it all wrong, I told her. Like he approached her. Your mom said no. You're not going to get married to some gross old man if you don't want to, I promise. Then why hasn't she said anything to me? She asked. Because she's been too busy spending the past 2 hours with her usual pastime of staring at a wall, was what I didn't say to her. Like, I don't know what is wrong with the queen, but I've been trying to downplay it so nobody starts spreading rumors. Telling her daughter isn't going to help with that. I hate people who beat around the bush about things, but for her I'll make an exception. She's worried, okay? You can be pretty hard to talk to sometimes, you know, I said. That much was completely true. But like, nobody wants to pressure you. It is true that your mother has started looking for candidates, but it's only because she cares about you. You have to go through gross ones in order to find someone worthy, you know. She sniffled more. I gestured for her to come over, and she puts her hand on the screen like she did when she was a kid. I rendered my own hand, touching hers. What if I don't want to? She said, wiping her tears with her sleeves. Her very expensive embroidered sleeves. Don't you want to? I asked, knowing she didn't mean it. I mean, like, you don't want to live in the palace forever, do you? Would you really find that fulfilling? Well, I don't know, she trailed off. Oh, come on. Don't think of a gross old man. You should think of a type you would like, I told her. Come on, tell me, what sort of men do you like? She hadn't sniffed in a good minute, and she blushed at my question, which was a good sign, because it meant she was actually thinking about it. She muttered something non-committal. How about someone like that royal guard, Hio? young looking and wide shoulders and strong, carrying you out of the palace into the woods? I suggested. Oh, well, maybe actually, but I would like someone who could also. We spent about 10 more minutes talking. Then she calmed enough to go yell at the maids for not bringing her dinner. Then, then we talked about it some more. I think I personally now have a good idea of exactly what sort of things that little woman likes in a man. I was pretty surprised by a lot of them. But hey, so long as it's got her in a positive mood. She also likely learned a lot about what I have come to find attractive in men since I was tu- turned back on 5 years ago. But I'm going to omit those from my logs forever, and definitely won't discuss it with anyone else. Okay, now. Why don't you tell your mom what you told me? I told her. Afterwards, how else will she find you someone perfect if you don't talk to her? Yeah, I suppose you're alright, she said. She said goodbye to me and went to go find her mother. I feel pretty proud of myself for dealing with that. Now I'm going to dedicate my processing time to finding a way to put those awful maids back in their place. Because, well, really now. Anyone can tell that we live in troubled times. As of late, things have gone out of control. Last night, a rogue element of the security force attempted a coup d'etat to violently overthrow the current government. While they have failed in their mutiny, all the men responsible have been arrested. The damage has already been done. The entire knowledge of the ship's database has been destroyed forever in a desperate act of terrorism. It may take years for the computer system to be usable all again. We have been hurt deeply today, but these events remind me of similar ones in the past, where a politician tried to subvert the will of the people by rigging an election. These aren't small, isolated problems. There is something fundamentally wrong with our society today, and every one of us, even those foolish terrorists, are victims. It is time to stop being victims of our own failings. It is time we must do better. We are all here today because of the Magua, because of a mission our ancestors started, a dream of a better home in the future for our children. What would they think if What would they think to see us now? Our society spiraling out of control, destroying itself like this. We've had become a society dominated by powerless, greed, and prosecurity. It is time to stop living in the moment. Time to stop worrying about politics, and instead worrying about being better people. We must build a society that would make our ancestors proud. The destruction of our writing is a tragedy, but perhaps it's also an opportunity, a blank slate from which we can forget all of our failings and start over. Let's make society right this time. Let's forget all those things that modern society has falsely said are important. And remember that family, loyalty, and compassion and stability matter above all else. Our society today pales in comparison to our glorious past, where men were so great they had the power to build giant ships to travel the stars. But perhaps we could look back to them and learn from the traditions that we've eschewed. Our broken modern society wrote transcendent ideas of on Maybearable computers in simple hangars, but in the past our ancestors wrote in their texts to last forever on paper, in a beautiful ink stroke. Today we've learned just how easy it is for our modern knowledge to be destroyed. Yet the library of our ancestors' classics works still stands strong, much stronger than ours. Let's fill our blank slate with the resilient ideas of our ancestors. In the past, when society was broken, the great King Taji declared a new dynasty, founded on Confucian principles, a dynasty that would remain united for 500 unbroken years. Today I stand before you to declare a new dynasty founded on those same Rizal principles. Let us be fiddle and adjust and understand what that truly means. Instead of pursuing money, let's dedicate ourselves to becoming better people. Instead of being prosperous, let us dedicate ourselves to being parents. Instead of being selfish, let us remember that the things that define us above all are our relationships. We must be better husbands and fathers. We must be more devoted sons, be more respectful brothers. Instead of constantly grasping for more power, let us dedicate ourselves to finding our place in this world and being the best at it we can be. I only ask one more thing of you. You should ask for me too. Let us devote ourselves to create a society that will make ancestors proud again. Let us create a better home in our future for our children. Let us create a new journeying dynasty to last 500 more years. Well, that explains a lot of what happened in the last one. Did you notice they didn't mention girls at least at all in that entire thing?
It's kind of yay.
Sneaking out at night. Mute. Transcript of our conversations held with Chief Security Officer Hero. Pardon me, sir. Can I take up a moment of your time? Okay, thanks. I'm not really sure how to deal with something. I caught Officer Hiro Shungbo sneaking out of the palace at night. Oh, uh-oh. He's one of the princess's royal guards. He was off duty at the time, and I caught him after he had been waved through the side gate. I don't know who waved him, though, without authorization, since, my cameras are pretty high-angled, and those hats that are part of the uniform make it pretty much impossible to see faces. I assumed it is whoever was on duty, though. Anyway, I caught Sung Books as he was on his way back in. He waved at some peasant-looking young man out in the corridor. This incident occurred at like 4 a.m. So if he really was a peasant, he was totally past. It was totally past curfew, I might add. And that guy left Song Young was alone in that corridor. So I popped up to the nearest screen. Whoa, I said, nearly jumping. Is that Mute? Yes, it is me, I told him. You look really different, ma'am. He stammered, and, I thought you were dead. I got kind of awkward. As one does when you're talking to someone who recognizes you, but I don't recognize them. Also, you've had your whole memory wiped. Well, I'm not anyone, I said. I got brought back. I'm sorry. You are Officer Hee Sung Book? Have we met before? Have we met before? Yes, ma'am, a couple of times. When you were older, I guess? I mean, not much. We weren't friends or anything. You just happened to be around when I was talking to... Say yeah. He stopped, and then apologized before he could finish saying her name, and then just said, "The old chief security officer." Yeah, I know. No matter. Yeah, I know. No, I know it's taboo to mention her name. I was just saying. What were you outside the palace? I asked. Who was I meant? Oh, just a friend, he said. I should get back inside now. It's nice to see you alive, ma'am. I don't know. He didn't seem like a friend to me. Even going past the whole peasant thing, it's not. Yeah, exactly. Okay. If you say so. Really? I didn't know that there was a thing men did. I didn't know that was a thing men did. I guess you learn something new every day. Anyway, still, I figured he shouldn't be sneaking out in the middle of the night. Yeah, I don't want the princess's royal guards to be sleep deprived. Pretty sure that kid deserves a lot better than that. I don't know if it's discriminatory matters or not. I didn't really want him to get a dressing down for a woman, because it's not really appropriate, but yeah, okay. Thanks, I appreciate that. Okay, bye now. The Board of Ministers. His Imperial Majesty Wu. Gentlemen, before we get started, I want to introduce a familiar face. Please introduce yourself. Mute. Hello, I'm Mute AI, in charge of the Mahangwa security operations. I know you all knew me before, but, well, given the whole rebellion thing, I'm afraid I don't really have any memories of before, so you're all new to me. Anyways, it's nice to meet you all. Minister Young Justice. Well, you look a lot better than you did before. Mr. Toy, Culture. Please consider yourself lucky, Mute. You have a new stout for a new dynasty. We didn't always see eye to eye in the past. Imagine we're all happy to have a chance to put things alright. Okay, thanks. His Imperial Majesty Wu, Mute, report directly to me, and should be considered a member of the House of Wu. She'll be tasked with gathering intelligence and managing security, without any of her talents being wasted on affairs like politics. It may help to think of the entire ship as being within her domestic sphere. Minister Han, Engineer and Medicine. Glad to hear it. His Imperial Majesty Wu. With that out of the way, on the agenda for today's proposal for Minister Smith of the Plaza Village, you have the floor. Minister Smith, state. Thank you. As you know, there is a considerable problem with the image of the plaza. There are issues with the public drunkenness, peasants milling out at all hours of the night, and even hurrying. Minister Tyke has risen concern that the tactic condoning of this sort of behavior flies against the principle of this dynasty and was found on, and I imagine you're inclined to agree. His Imperial Majesty's Wu, very much so. Minister Tai, Culture. We really need to make a hard stand on it. I mean, the plaza is the center of public life, so it's important that it sets an example. Minister Smith, state. The proposal is to set a curfew and relocate guards to enforce it. To that end, I'm requesting 2 extra patrols for each division. Is that agreeable? His Majesty Ruler. This would be your purview, Mute. Mute. Oh, if His Majesty approves of it, of course, sir. It would be difficult, though. Like, it would take away a lot of the forces that would originally be dealing with the peasants' deck. His Imperial Majesty Wu, I'm worried about approval. It's just your job to give Mr. Smith what he needs. I'll worry about approval. It's just your job to give Mr. Smith what he needs. Mr. Smith, I'll need you to deliver a proposal for relocating by the end of the week. Mute. Do you have any objections to that? No, of course not, sir. You can call me Mr. Smith. That is all from me, then. His Imperial Majesty Wu. Moving on, then. Royal Wedding, Year 1. Rough outline of the reports. Please edit to remove any unnecessary remarks or any vulgarities that may have slipped in. It was incredibly challenging for the ministry getting such an elaborate ceremony together on short notice, but I'm pretty proud to say that bulk of the royal wedding has gone successfully. All that remains for the ceremony is for the bride to be present to the Wu ancestral temple, which, thanks to the negligence of the Ministry of State, she hasn't actually finished construction yet. But that isn't on us. The most publicity visible element of the wedding, the introduction of the bride by the groom into his home, definitely ended up drawing the crowd we were anticipating. Though I have to admit, that awful fucking computer girl would have handled po- policing the peasants who were there a lot better than than whoever the current officer was. And with the peasant class barely from the barred from using computers, it is basically a miracle we managed to actually react reach as reach as many of them as we did. Even then I didn't think that the full weight of how radically different the conf- confusation ceremony was really sink in with them. This isn't unexpected though, as far as I can tell from the references material that is available in paper books. Even our ancestors in the original Joseon dynasty had a hell of a time educating people on that matter. And thanks to what we know, we're off to a strong start in trying to emulate them. Regardless, there was a wide range of people in attendance, from peasants to beauties like Hyo A. John and her cute little sister, to former Chief Counselor Smith, and I had no doubt that between the receptions and the flamboyant traditions royal attire on display, we have made even one of those spectators' dreams of having a wedding like that. Although I do worry about our historical accuracy when it comes to details like outfits. Anything with photographs in it was lost thanks to that damn traitorous Hei Sang Young and her attempted rebellion total computer wiped. But hopefully our ancestors will forgive any imperfections. Instead, be happy at least getting the important parts of the ceremony right. Now only time will tell whether it will be enough for the imperial family to learn by example when it comes to promoting proper Confucian weddings, or if it was required further work to finally kill the last corrupt dynasty tradition of devaluating the groom's imponence. If we are going to get the values that we have found in this dynasty on right, then it's absolutely, completely, and utterly imperative that we get them right straight with marriage. I don't think it can be stressed enough just how important promoting proper marriage here is. It is the foundation of adulthood, one of the most fundamental of relationships, and the basics upon which families are built on. And if even nobles don't get how destructive practices that completely screw the dynamics of the relationship, like for instance, the popular occurrence of a groom moving into the bride's house can be, well, then we've got some serious problems. Really though, time will tell whether that continues to be a problem. Ha ha ha. Maybe I did. Yes, I spent 30 minutes reading porn, but who knows what we're gonna get to this time with the past. Really though.
It's true. Uh,
Really though, time tells whether there continues to be a problem or not. But as for the ceremony itself, especially the introduction of the Queen's consort into the Imperial Palace, it was absolutely grotesque and powerful and wide-reaching to the people of the Mongol and ancestrally willing. It would be damned well inspiring too. Funeral for a rebel. Today, the former chief security officer of the Mongol, He Shangvern, passed away by her own hand. I personally felt uncomfortable making royal proclamation. But the Emperor felt that to commend on such a difficult and tragic woman as her, it would be only appropriate for me to speak. Still, I write these words only reluctantly. I didn't mean to defend her. Her actions were beyond reprehensible, and she thoroughly deserved the title of traitor. But I think it's important that we try to rationally understand what would create such a woman, to learn from her mistakes and not fall victim to them ourselves. Miss Hugh, Miss Yule was not always a bad person. On the occasion I met her, she was a courageous and respectable person to everyone. She was devoted to her husband, and she could be a caring mother to her daughter. But as so many women of her time were, she was burdened with far too much responsibility. Putting long hair into serving the counselor of secretaries and being responsible for hundreds of men under her. Furthermore, she was a woman who had a compulsive emotional need to always be in control. Encouraging by her job required a great deal of management on her part. We only imagine how stressful that must have been, to have to split her devotion to two opposing responsibilities like that. It's no wonder that a woman who was already so financially fragile broke with her when her husband died. He was the he was the most important person on the entire ship in her eyes, and she loved him with as much devotion as any wife should. It is only natural she was devastated. Without a husband there to keep her grounded, she retreated from domestic life entirely. Tragically, her obsession with control meant that she felt responsible. I can't imagine how miserable it would have been for her, unable to cope, slowly discriminating into a madness to discreet control beyond her means. She had strong oppositions about politics, as many people of the time did. I was confessed there was a time when even I thought it was my place to care about such things and felt as though if only things were run the way they wanted them to be, it would be better. I still don't think she should be blamed even for that. She was traumatized after all. Few others have such exclusive for feelings like they should worry about things that'll fall off their place. The one thing she did have control over, however, were her secretary men, but she wanted more. She left sorrow turned to ambition, and the chaos of her amped cope. Her ambition caused extraordinary deviation to our computer system before she was brought under control. I won't draw on the details of the night. We all know them. Well, it's not what is important. What is important to understand that by doing that, the woman's pursuit of ambition caused her to fail in all of these things she was entrusted with. She failed in her duty as to her direct supervisor, Mute. Her actions resulted in her death in the end. She failed in her duty as a mother, unable to care for her own poor, fatherless daughters from prison. And worst of all, she failed her husband. Her intensity on unnecessary having a prompt and high status job meant she made target a target of danger and meant she had no time to be a good wife. Instead, she went down a path that led to unhappiness and self-destruction. If only she had been educated better, if only she had been raised in a better society, perhaps we would all be better off. When I look at Hyung Sun Nung, I don't think of her as a malice traitor, but as a pitiful woman who forced herself into a position that just wasn't in her nature and couldn't handle it. But she was not a bad person. She did bad things, but she was not a bad person. In the end, she realized the ills of her ways and in taking her own life, she had brought some measures of dignity back to her family name. It takes braveness to do that. So today I will admire her for being a woman who was able to admit her faults in that end, and will endure to be much more of that way should all. Hey, here they are.
I was wondering. Oh, she changed out. Ah! It's Hyunai's fault, okay? No, it isn't. It was the debug that screwed everything up, not me. You're the one who decided to force a cross-compile on an unsupported architecture. What did you think would happen? But... Jeez, and now you've wasted that advanced dictionary program that he so kindly got for us. But you're the one who told me to try that. And I quote, "Those builds totally work just fine, just force it, okay?" Anyway, the bottom line is that we can't really hear anything you're saying. Like, English to Korean translation is completely broken.
Well, isn't that convenient?
Yeah. If I try to translate the ship's name, it just comes out as... Oh god. Ah! Yeah, what she said. The ship's name is White Princess. I know that. I'm just using it as an example of how English to Korean translation doesn't work. Jeez. Of course I remember what the name is, from back when it did work. Jeez, watch your text box size, okay? That's my face you're covering. I can't help it. It's a language that I don't understand. I never realized their height difference.
Yeah.
Translated English text takes up so much space than Hangul. I don't really get it. Stop blabbing! Can we just focus on what's important, please?
Although I suppose this is the first time we've seen them actually next to each other.
Yeah, it's definitely... Oh, second time, but yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, sir. Will you please forgive me for breaking things?
Oh gosh, now we have 3 choices.
Wow, the legendary third. Oh god, you see her reactions.
Oh, this is gonna be fun, I can already tell.
Oh no. Like, that's very fair of you. Kunai. Yes? You too. Yes, I think that's fair too. No, jeez! Ask him for forgiveness too! Show some respect! Really? Fine, I'm sorry. Forgive me? I hate everything. See, of course it wasn't a problem. Ah, geez, been thinking, Yunai. Fine. Thanks. Anyway. Okay, can we get to the important part, please? I've been trying to, but you keep interrupting me. Jeez. Right, while we were offline debugging, we found some weird data embedded in mute source code. It's not just weird data. They're log files timestamped before year 0.
Oh, that's very interesting.
Old. I think it's interesting that Mute's based on, like, a little princess from the past as an adult version of herself.
Yeah.
That was interesting to find out. Also, they're embedded in you too! Our actual base code is identical. We're the same program. Jeez, no I'm not. Please, I don't want to have this argument again. Look, the important part here is that it's pre-year 0 log file. Wait, even you want to find out what happened that made everything fall apart? I really like this outfit. Why didn't they bring this one in? I like Mute's outfit right now. Her stupid head thing last time was so annoying. Yunai! No, never mind. I'm not even going to say it. Say what? Never mind, okay? Say what? Look, we've already read my earliest memories. You know that nobody ever really trusted me with the full story. Well, maybe that's a sign of something. Ooh. Ugh, you spoiled brat. Don't you get it? It was the great Emperor Teiho's decision. It's not my place to challenge him. I can't believe we have the same code, yet no respect for your superiors at all. Why couldn't you have gotten that from me? It's not. Okay, look, it doesn't matter. What's important is we both want to find out what happened, right? Yes, absolutely. Well... And you, sir? Oh, okay, so they automatically make you a dude here, or did you have to do, like, previous, like...
I think it's based off of what we had for the...
Oh, that makes sense. Okay.
By the way, if you read the poem when you're a woman, you can start hitting on mute and she becomes upset about it.
Okay. Hey!
That's actually how you get one of the achievements.
Yeah, doesn't she turn into a man or something?
No, she's still good.
Oh, I thought you said she turned into a man. I was like, oh. Okay, that was a twist. Thank you so much! Yay, that's really wonderful of you. It'll be great, won't it? Investigating together as your sidekicks. I just want to find out what happened, okay? That's it.
I also wonder if that outfit is because of the last save bio too.
That one, I think so, yes. Mutes, I'm not sure why she changed her outfits. Just had... Oh, whoops. Just husband and wife. And wife. Jeez, you and I wonder if there's certain achievements that you can only get by doing like one specific person. I am not his wife, and neither are you. That isn't your decision to make. It's his. Soon. Getting called out, my dude. That's you! Stop projecting onto me, okay?
I mean...
Flying the soon did it. I am not It doesn't matter. Please, let's just get back to business, okay? You're just making this poor gentleman uncomfortable. My apologies for Hyunai, sir. Please forgive her. Anyway... so there's this weird thing where... Here, let me explain. Got it! Do you want the long technical version, or...
Gosh, I can't read her facial expressions. Yes, let's go with the long technical version, because I'm sure Mumu is going to love to read that.
I'm just here, dude. Okay. Basically, you know how AIs can make identical copies of themselves, right? Well, the failsafe mechanism for detecting copies is absurdly conservative. Like, too conservative if you ask me. It's enough that if I copied all these files at once, it would flag a copy and refuse to recompile myself. Which is incredibly stupid, but it'd go against my coding to change that, so it can't be helped. Wait, so how can the two of us coexist at the same time then? Shouldn't it have been the same problem? Don't be ridiculous! Oh, wait. Maybe you got it wrong? No, definitely not. You're right. Like, no matter how you look at it, there should be no way we should both be able to activate at the same time. I don't get it. Well, like, it should be impossible. Wasn't it also impossible for him to have found that log file they showed you in order for us to get together in the first place?
Damn you and I, call me out like that much?
Ooh. Yeah, actually.
I was just a really good guesser.
Yeah, we probably didn't beat the game with someone else. Just because... Oh, so this definitely isn't canon. Okay. Just because our root isn't canon doesn't mean our feelings aren't real. Don't worry about it too much, okay?
Well, gosh.
Wow, this is so meta!
And the worst part is that you need this ending to get all the achievements anyways.
Oh, so is it different depending on who we get into the thing?
I would assume so.
So we're gonna have to at least do this another 2-3 times.
Yeah. I'm sure it's probably also different whether we make you and I our lover or not.
Anyway... Okay. So, basically you'll have to disable us, then extract no more than 6 files at a time. Oh, not again. It's a safety precaution, okay? Otherwise there might be an accidental damage, so let's be careful. Yes, please. Right, well, let's get to it then. You're in charge, so we'll leave it up to you to decide what to read. Let's find out what Emperor Teho was protecting me from together, okay? Let's find out why the future sucked so much. No! Whatever, let's just get to it, okay?
That's the outfit.
Wow.
Oh, that is streamlined.
I couldn't have been this simple last time.
Hey look, showing red. Oh gosh. Oh, there's a lot.
Oh.
Alright.
That's a lot.
Old Mute, let's quest rebellion. That one sounds fun. Where should I just do the first?
So it said 3 at a time, right? Or no, 6
6
at a
at a
time.
time.
Oh. Hey, could you click on me, please? Oh, jeez.
Okay.
Yay, it works. Of course it works. I just wanted to make sure we were able to get your attention properly. I'll use that as an indicator from now on, alright? Yes, Hyunai, I'm sure he isn't stupid. He's the impressive space detective who rescued us. He can travel through space faster than the speed of light. There's no need to handhold him through basic UI functions. Jeez, I'm sorry. Anyway, can we please, get to the important part? Did you see that there was a log file right at the end named The Death of Mute?
I actually missed that.
I really want to find out what's in that. but right now it's encrypted, so I don't think we'll be able to get at it today. We're trying, though. Yes, anyway, let's stop wasting his time. Also, by the way, I changed the name so that all of them that said mute to old mute, just so there's no confusion. Oh, wait, fuck. Fuck! Yeah, I'm not repeating it.
Okay.
Ah! Anyway, you're the man, so I'll let you get back to it. And I'm gonna... Oh. Lead on, Mr. Investigator. I feel like we need a detective outfit at this point, you know?
Can we just take a moment to appreciate the fact that there was no coding involved in any of that?
I know! Oh, no coding is nice.
But before I get to it, I'm gonna run to the restroom.
Alright, I'm gonna go grab a drink, so...
I'm back.
Welcome back.
Alright. Let's crush the rebellion. For my internal logs.
Mute! Yeah, I see.
For my internal logs. 7:20 p.m. The Hale household during our daily meeting. How are you, Mr. Hughes?
Wait. Eh? Seong was the misguided rebel who destroyed all the computer records.
I asked. I asked Shinhee after showing up on her living room computer screen. The very first words. Her very first words. Good evening, Colonel.
I don't know anything about old Mute yet, but what's up with that picture?
Damn, Mute. Well, I'm having a major crisis with my husband.
This is the first time we've read about this person. Click on their name again in another log file, and I'll remind you about that.
It didn't seem like she was very serious, which is a good sign, since I kinda liked him. Go on, I said. You've heard that those fashionable papers lanterns, right? The ones that are genuine paper? They were sold in the upper Court Plaza. No, really, no. Will they let through this glorious red light? I interrupted over there. Yes, I know what paper lanterns are like. So is the crisis. Don't you think they'd be perfect for the living room? My husband objects. Because they cost about 50,000 silver per. I think it is too extravagant, she said. Whatever that means. Does the man have any idea how much money you make? I asked. She replied, I don't think so. You know how men are. Of course, Mr. Kim is the kind to get jealous of his wife making more money than him, which is pretty silly. He is merely a teacher and singing is the Council of Secretary's top lieutenant. He needs to get over it, I said pretty much that to her. By the way, I love how they talk during this.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know whether to do it now or just whatever.
I don't know, I think the extremely minor dispute about interior decorating may be fatal in our relationship. If we get divorced, I can sleep in your home. I was about to say something but got cut off by one of the young maids suddenly popping up to deliver tea. Thanks, Miss Lee, said Shonyan, dismissing her. You know, you've already slept in my house, right? I responded once the girl left. With all respect, Colonel, she said, this is my home. How did you figure that? I told her, only because I bought it for you, great-great-great-grandfather. I don't think you would have liked the old place. I think I have closets in this place bigger than it was. Not much room for those servants either. Oh wow, leave it to Mute to remember a debt for. She paused, counting on her fingers. Centuries. That'll be 200 years. That'll be 200 years ago. It's not that long, I told her. She was amused. You're awfully old, she said. I replied, but you're still just a young girl. Wait, hey, is that a gray hair I see? She protested in disbelief, but I didn't even have to make it up. The truth is, she started to go gray. I mean, she's like 38, so it's hardly strange. No way, she said, getting bothered. Maybe I'll stay with my husband after all, you're mean. Because he's too nice to make fun of your childish responses to aging, I asked. No, she said. Because he's got terrible eyesight. Oh, okay, I said, amused. Let's get to business, alright? She nodded, turning serious. What is the first order, then? Want to crush a rebellion, I asked? She got excited again. Do I ever? Can we actually do that? She asked, but with a smile on her face at the thought of it. These democracy agents have been causing no end to the stress in the past. What, 2 years? I bet they're the cause of this gray hair. She paused, taking a sip of her tea. Can we destroy them, please, please? Well, okay, I got an idea. I think we can get Chief. On board pretty easily. Let's call it. How about Operation Get Back at the Idiots for giving the young lady Chief? Chief lends her gray hair permanently. I said. It was a joke, but we both knew full well that the stakes were pretty high. The rebellion really had been starting to get dangerous. Oh yeah, she said with a happy smile. This is the nicest gift you could ever have given me, Mute. Let's crush the rebellion. And now you can read what they say. Or not. So I think they should just read what they say as it pops up.
Okay, I can do that. She's an AI. There's no excuse for leaving men waiting like that. Well, yeah, but...
Counselor Mute has once again tried my patience by requesting a meeting with me and Counselor Yang at a very specific time and location, then showed up late. The subject was so important I had no choice but to put up with it. What does it mean I appreciate the utter lack of respect? She insisted on meeting in the Upper Plaza Restaurant Royal, and her lieutenant Hioi was the first there. But it took the counselor herself a whole half an hour for her to finally show up on a private room screen. Hey, sorry I'm late, she announced in the same perfectly graduatingly cheerful voice she had the past 50 years. You didn't start eating without me, did you? How irritating. We would never do that. Should I pour you a glass of wine? Asked Counselor Yang, Claudine raising the pitcher in her direction. He has always been like this with her, ever since he inherited his counsel position. I can never tell if he understands the implications of her being in him anymore in a computer program, or if he's just an idiot. Probably he's just an idiot. Haha, I wish. With the sort of shit we've got to deal with, I sure could use it, she said with a slight flip of her golden hair. Then he turned to me. Anyways, Chief Coruscant, I bet you are wondering why I asked you here, right? You said it was important, I said impatiently. It is about the Committee for Further Democracy, she said, with appropriating skill and emphasizing her name. This week, Miss Hero has literally done nothing but shut down their meetings. How many noise violations orders you have issued these past 7 days? 10? 15, said her lieutenant. It was dramatically tactic on Mute's part, and she did not know exactly how many. My bad, she said. Every week the number of private log entries use the keywords doubles. I'm worried we are going to be researching a critical mass soon. At this rate, I'm worried about the presidential elections results are going to lead to, like, public demonstrations. We can't deal with that. You are the Council of Security. It is your damn job to deal with it, I told her. I'm not interested in unnecessaries. She's not making the lieutenant settle out of line, but Mute managed to mute her. Stand down, Miss Huey, she told her. But then she turned to me with the same rudeness. Now listen here, young man. I was not, like, asking your approval. We have a problem. And a stern lecture from the chief counsel is not going to help, okay? You can blame me if you want. That's not going to solve shit. Yang shifted a grin, thinking that I wasn't looking. I had to glare at him to put him back in line. Sheepishly, he took a large drink of his wine. I'd at least like to know why it is you can't even do your job efficiently. I demand, and you show some respect. Okay, sure, you got it, sir, she said sarcastically, as an impossible expression on her face. But I think, sir, you misunderstood what my job is. My job isn't to stop public discriminations. My job is to make sure public discriminations don't happen in the first place. Like, do you have any idea what happens to the last time we had a public discrimination?
Banditry? On the Mungungwa?
She paused. She expected me to actually answer her question. Perhaps to pronounce the moment I got even the slightest detail wrong. I tried to recall, but she said something before I had the chance to say anything. No, of course you don't. It was like 4 centuries ago. They led to open armed rebellion. Talking about outright banditry, okay? It's not tenant, sir, she said in high and mighty way. Do you have any idea what martial is like? 'Cause that's what it took to crush it last time. So, interrupted Yang, you're saying that carrying out your job needs our help. You got it, Counselor, she said. Looks like there's no need for hostility. Men, we've got a command properly, and I think we can sort it out. And really, Chief Counselor, in my opinion, as Council Security, and the oldest person around by, like, a millennium, I think we can sort this out. But I wouldn't have asked you here if I didn't need your help. I sighed. She had a point, but I had to clean up what she couldn't. That's her job. What is your plan? You're not going to like it, she said. And I was sure to believe it. First, let's poke. First, we let Park back in the presidential race. That is what the agitators have been getting upset about it. That is what have been getting upset about it. So it'll take the wind right out of their sails if we take away the main points of concern. That is madness. He is a radical and he would very likely be elected, I said. What is the worst that happens? We just veto the bastard down at every step. The president's powerless against the council in the end, Yang suggested. No, no good. I mean, you're right, but that is just leads to more unrest, she said, shaking her head.
By the way, Melvin, I don't think he came back to stream.
Oh shit. Do. Phew. There we go. No, I mean, you're alright, but that just leads to more unrest, she said, shaking her head. What the hell do you propose then? Let him just dictate his crazy, radical, anti-noble principle? I demanded. Yeah, actually, I think that's our best shot. Hear me out, okay? You resign as chief counselor, and don't give me shit here. I know you've been meaning to for ages. Don't pretend like you would be upset for that to happen. We put in someone new, younger, at the face of council. Say, it's part of our new decoration. The president's going to call for reforms, and we're going to let him. And our new direction will go along with him. So we just yield to the madness of democracy then, I said. Incredulous. She sounded absolutely insane. But of course she had a plan. I'm pained to admit. No, that is crazy, of course, she said. And then she grinned madly. We pretend to. We are going to be the democracy movement's worst friend. And the president proposes reforms, yeah. We will nod along. We'll say we'll do it. Then we'll water it down. We'll say, 'cause, like, here's the thing. The people that don't have specific demands, they are dumb. They're okay with compromises. All we have to do is make it look like they've won. The new one loses all of its momentum. And then rebellion crushed, she said. Her lieutenant smashed her fist in the palm dramatically, efficiently and subtly. You got it, efficient and subtle. That's how we do it, said Mute.
Of course she's chatty. It's just part of her nature. Sore Mute.
I wasn't sure at first what I thought about her plan. It's insane, for sure. It's incredibly bold. But the more I thought about it over dinner, I thought maybe that's just what we need. In all the time I've known Mute, she might try my patience, but I've never known her intentions to be misplaced. She might be chatty and a gossip and a disrespectful, but one thing's for sure. She's honest and never manipulative. I think there's a reason why she came to my face and asked me this, when she could have just have gone around me with the rest of the council. She might be a bitch at times, but she's still programmed to always act in the best intentions of the ship's safety anyways.
Was that?
By the time we finished eating, I was just about made up my mind. Who do you propose the new face of the council then? You, I asked? Haha, oh please, she shook her head dramatically. I said a younger face, mine's as old as it gets. Only by choice, Yang said. You can always look as young and beautiful as you would like. Yeah, sure. I've done that before, and one day fashions change, I'm sure I'll do it again, she started. I think you look fine the way you are, counselor, said Hio, an old tone to her voice. It's not the point, okay? She shook her head. Look. Excavita. We need someone who is actually young. Who the peasants will trust as a being willing to accept new ideas. Councilor Lee, perhaps, I suggested.
This is the first time we've read about this person. Click on their name again in another file and I'll remind you about them.
No, definitely not. Too cosmetic, too ambitious. That woman has got an agenda, and I do not trust it for a second, she said. She was probably right on reference. Councillor Yang what would you suggest?
Ryu, as in Captain and Emperor Ryu? Yes, exactly! Ryu Hyun-soo was the birth name of the dynasty founder Emperor Taiho.
He paused and a flash of light seemed to go off behind his dim eyes. Councillor Lee Hanu-san, he said. Give it to the useless figurehead. Counselor of Capacity. He'll be so thrilled to actually have a real job. He would never think to do anything with it. Huh, why does this all seem so familiar? Giving position to a counselor. You're right, she said. Of course, I said it too after a pause of reflection. He's young, completely malleable, but plausible as a reformer. As a face of input and rebellion, Rhino would be perfect. That was where we left the discussion for that night. And now, I guess it is time to tell my wife that I was finally going to retire. She'll be thrilled. So they gave the counselor public position, hoping he would just yield, and we all know how that ends up.
Mm-hmm. Oh, dramas. I like those too. I'm like, is this another one of your otaku things?
Man, I had the weirdest fucking night. Despite half the security force being pulled into the guard polling stations on election night, I was off duty at the time, watching dramas with my seamless off-duty father. I'm not a fan, but he is. I find them pretty unbelievable, honestly. Anyway, he got his idea from one of those episodes that now would be the perfect time to send a gift to Chief Shen Office Hewitt, my aunt in the main branch, to say thanks for giving us the worst night off. Not that he actually had anything suitable, of course. Spent like 10 minutes scoundering and was able to find a moderately expensive looking wine bottle we've been ignoring for years. Seems to think it would make perfect sense. Well, whatever. That's Dad's logic, I guess.
Ugh, jeez, Yunai. Show some respect. You're as bad as him.
She took it down the corridor to the main branch family house. My father suggested it would be a quick 5 minutes in and out affair, but it took 5 minutes at the doorbell just to get any sort of response. Whatever, it's not like I had anything better to do. A cute maid answered the door. She looked pretty sleepish. Can I see Chief Hero briefly? I asked her. If it isn't trouble. Sorry, she's out right now, she said, quietly, still halfway behind the door. Is her husband home then? I have something to drop off, I said. He's home, but she suddenly blushed and looked away. Professor Kim he is busy right now, and not to be interrupted, sorry. There's just something to drop off. It'll only take a minute, I said. I really couldn't interrupt. Busy, she said, awkwardly looking down and scratching her neck. It'll take me a second to catch her meaning.
Oh, jeez. What does this mean her husband was doing? The maids? Yeah, I think so.
Oh boy, if I know this story like I think it does, then I think we can see where this is going.
Born!
And Chief Heist is at the office, I asked. Yes, she said quietly. So I have to go now. And then she closed the door on me without another word. It was pretty fucking awkward, but whatever. I figured I might as well go try to deliver it to her office. I figured I should at least be able to say that I tried in good faith enough. And man, good thing I did too. Pretty much all the desks in the main security office were emptied, although the lamps were still lit. Apparently I interrupted her in the middle of conversation with Constable Mute herself. Yes, mister, can I help you? She said to me. I introduced myself as her brother's son. It probably could have gone better. He wants to send you a gift as thanks for the working so diligently on the hardest night, or something like that. Maybe with more stammering. Yes, she said. It's most certainly the most difficult night. At that point, as if on cue, she gets distracted by a message in her earpiece.
No, Young is really scary.
Oh, don't say that, she replied in the voice in her ear. Are you serious? Are these rebels? Are these reliable reports? After a pause, she filled a short glass with something from her shelf, slamming it back. I will kill them, she said. If you see anyone carrying anything that even looks like a political sign, I want them set on fire. Not the sign, the men. Actually, a sign too.
Oh.
At this point, I want them dead, she shouted. At this point, I was ready to leave, just wanting for a pause so I could excuse myself.
Wow, women really are as emotional as you think. I didn't mean it like that. I'm sure it's fine.
Okay, behave like that, Mute, said from the nearby screen. Okay, be like that, Mute said from the nearby screen, capturing an earpiece of her own. Lieutenant, do not murder anyone. Elections with murders in them pretty much always turn into disasters. Let's not do that, please. Fine, no murders. Continue to monitor the situation, she said. Then she turns to Mute. For now, I'd recommend some unscheduled maintenance on the rail coordination. The fake ballots were spotted on. Already done, the council said. Can we send a team to intercept them? I don't know, said Gilroy. We're already spread thin as it is. We just sent a couple of uniforms in. And to be blunt, I don't think they could take out the protesters efficiently. It would cause a scene. Really? You can do better than that. I'm disappointed, Mute said. I expected better. Regardless, I don't think they could, she replied directly. Fine, guess we'll have to avoid that. The last thing I would want to hear are rumors that the Council of Security is stiffing the democracy process. That will really agitate the damned democracy agitators, she said bluntly. I was surprised to hear it from the counselor herself. I mean, not that I'd ever heard anything from her before, but it sounded surprising. Bunch of idiots. Don't they know that their candidate had already won? What is the point in protesting for Puck when he already has the presidency in the bag?
I guess they had everything under control, though. Right.
Are you sure you don't want to set them on fire? She suggested. Man, knock it off. Murder's gonna lead to rioting. Let's avoid that kind of shit, please, Mute replied, rubbing her forehead. Hey, if you're spread so thin, why is he off duty? She asked, glancing at me. I was way past the point of not wanting to be there. That's a good question. Why are you? Who are you, officer? My aunt said, staring.
No. The Sunwalk boy seems a little awkward.
I stammered. I don't have a weapon permit yet, ma'am. Well, that might be prudent to go. Well, it might be prudent to get one, don't you think? She replied. I'm not sure exactly what I said. Something like, yes, ma'am, I think. But it seemed like a perfect chance to get out of there. So I excused myself and did.
This whole thing with those two women just doesn't feel right, though.
I'm not really sure what they were talking about, even now. I didn't hear anything about the trouble with the protesters. And I definitely heard no end to the family's members complaining about Park being elected. So they were right about that. I guess they managed to sort it out somehow. I'm sure it sure is weird, though. And I guess maybe I should try for that weapon permit.
It's still shocking, like, she was responsible in putting the first emperor into power.
It has been a rather awful, stressful week, but I felt as though it improved significantly after my daily meeting with Mute. The day of the first council meeting post-election. As an hour passed ago, we got a new chief coordinator. Why who? Chief Counsel Waihu Smith stepped down, and after a tremendous amount of debate, managed to push Ryu through the votes. It is official now, she declared. Congratulations, I told her. It is truly relieved to hear that it worked. Tell me about it, she said with a sigh. There's going to be a joint broadcasting of the new chief counselor and the new population-based president tomorrow, officially announcing their joint willingness to pandering to any political agendas endorsed by enough idiotic votes.
It's a lot of scheming, isn't it? Sure is.
I'll make sure to announce. I'll make sure the announcement has secretary details that properly discoordinates, I offered. Yeah, of course, Mute said. But man, I think we are actually going to be okay here. It looks like we are going through the hardest part of it now. Now I just have to worry about politics, not agitators and public demonstrations.
Huh.
I sure hope so, I said. I mean, I think we really are okay. I just want to say, Miss Hero. Yes, I replied. Thank you. This couldn't have turned out a lot more violent than it did. Look, you've put in a lot of really hard work in the past week, stopping things from escalating further, she told me. Stared at me intensely, and like, I really appreciate it. You're a great lieutenant. Hyo Young, keep up the good work.
Wait, did Seong look on old Mute like a husband? What, jealous?
Then she offered me a sincere smile, with elegance and grace in her cat-like grin. I could hardly help from feeling warm at the sight of such charming gesture from her, a woman known for being brutally honest. To hear a compliment like that coming from her, I knew she meant it. It felt good to be appreciated for all that I've done, and I felt proud. Aw, thanks, I ended up muttering, without treading out neither elegance or grace. I am simply happy things have worked out without any violence. Well, good job, she said. Well, good job, we could have...
What? Of course I'm not jealous.
Well, good job, we couldn't have done it without you, she said. Then she turned away seriously. Anyways, but it makes me feel a lot better about this whole stressful week to have acknowledgement from her like that, truly. Amendment of the Educational Act.
Oh, did you want me to say it?
Yeah.
Only it was so rude.
Chief Counselor Smith state, we have time for one more order of business today. Council O's proposed amendments of the Educational Act. The text of it can be found in the third appendix of the sectional agenda. I'll now leave the floor to remarks from Counselor O. Counselor Education. No remarks, it's just general housekeeping shit for the university. Counselor Mute Secretary. Great. I'm going to strain voting and decline to pay any more attention to this section. If that's okay with you. Counselor? It doesn't affect security. I vote don't care. Does the rest of the council object to bringing it to a vote? Counselor Ryu. Capacity. None here. Counselor Kim. Education and Science. I object. I don't understand the purpose of the proposed changed about the language rules. Is it really necessary? I don't think. Can you explain that?
I don't understand what they're talking about. Don't worry about it. It's past and don't worry about politics.
Can you explain that? It's just some minor changes to general requirements. Even engineers have general requirements. That's why they're called general. I don't think we need the vocal lessons, Counselor. That's... Yes, I know. Out of line. Withdrawal. It doesn't sound like a minor change.
Wait. Queen Onya? She was an official before?
This was all requested and drafted by Manhwa's Universal President, Oh In-ah. She assured me that it's just a minor change to allow her students to get more rounded education.
I knew her as a queen consort, Onya. She was the person who was there for me when I first woke up.
What exactly is more rounded about forcing engineers to pointless general classes? Everyone already takes general classes, it's not. Pardon me if I may. Certainly. I yield the floor to Councillor Lee. I understand the changes to allow general programs to include text written in Chinese characters. Is that right?
Oh, of course we would know and want to improve literacy. So she's the reason why I couldn't understand what everyone wrote.
That is what I'm told. Meaning technical students will have to get out of their way to learn pointless nonsense that doesn't have anything to do with science. Chinese characters aren't taught in public schools. That is right. The other counselors see where this is going, yes? Does it really have to be spelled out why it would be a good thing to make educational requirements for noble professions less acceptable to any old peasants at a public school? Counselor Mute, Secretary. In case you haven't noticed, we have a serious problem with overeducated peasants already. They agitated for democracy and gives me a headache. Making things harder for them seems like preserving the status quo to me.
Whoa, mute back was harsh. Yeah, like, I respect that, but what a cold maneuver.
That was my thinking. But it's just housekeeping regardless. I still don't. Counselor Kim, do you really feel that strongly about this? Really? If you move to vote, I will second it. Do you have a motion to vote? I move to vote then. Second. The motion passes. How does the council vote? The Council of Education is in favor. The Council of Capacity is in favor. The Council of Agriculture is in favor. The Council of Secretary wants this over and done with. In favor.
I can't deal with how rude she is, though.
The Council of Justice in favor and agrees with the lovely Council of Secretary. Ugh. Ugh is not a vote. Fine, the Council of Engineering and Science abstains. I don't care that much. The Council of Culture is in favor. The Council of State is also in favor. Let the record show that the vote was 7 in favor with 1 abstain. The amendment passes and will go to the presidency for signing. With that, I move to close council for the day. To resume next Monday. Secondly, gladly. Then the High Council of the Mungwa is dismissed.
So this is the result of old mutes conspiring. Right, with Smith and So Young.
Let's not waste any time getting to the biggest order of business for today. Deciding on my successor for the position of Chief Counselor. Point of order before we continue. Will you be stepping down as Council of State at the same time? Yes. Consider it a complete retirement from politics. Who will take your position then? Smith and Chu will be taking it. I trust there are no objections to this. No, Chief Smith Ichu is the eldest son of Chief Counselor Smith. Good. Moving on. Are there any nominations for the floor for a new Chief Counselor? Counselor Mute, Secretary. I'd like to motion for the Council of Capacity for the position. Wait, what? Counselor Lee. Second to the lovely Council Secretary nomination for Ryu.
The Counselor of Justice Yang was just, toying with old mute.
At the risk of being blunt, should second my nomination. Are there any others? Nope. I nominate myself. Is there a second for Counselor Kim? Well, this is kind of an awkward silence. Really? Counselor Mosquito can get himself second, but not someone who actually runs something important? Counselor Mosquitoes? Okay, you're not gonna call out that out of order? Seriously? Yes, this is out of order. Let the record indicate that the chief counselor remarks were prefixed by an overly dramatic sigh.
Well, I always thought politics would be more civil. It should be! Like, all this uncivilized bickering, it's not right!
This is getting awfully out of control. Counselor Kim, do you withdraw the remarks? No, I want to know what could have possibly motivated anyone to nominate that man for the single highest position on the ship. It is an admirable curiosity decision. Otherwise, I'm not completely unbiased here, but I don't think he has the track record to support such a position. Well, actually, Counselor Mute, if you would. Counselor, yeah, of course, I'll be blunt right now. The most important thing for the continuous stability of this ship is how we deal with President Polk in this idiotic democracy movement, right? I mean, everyone agrees with that, yeah? Therefore, our job is to undermine his actions at every turn, right? Again, nobody's arguing that, are they? How is electing you as chief counselor going to do that? How is it not going to send a stronger message of someone with an established record? I still don't understand the reason. Simple, we don't want to look like President is our enemy. If we strongly oppose him, we only make the movement stronger. Council Lee, tell me, what do you propose? What do you propose, new directive? What is your purpose? What is your proposed new directive for the council? I don't propose a new directive. I don't believe in compromising to hooligans. We need to draw a line that firmly lets the peasants know that the High Council of the Moongar won't yield to their arrogance. More importantly, one that assumes the noble families that actually runs a ship. We won't hang them out to dry. I don't disagree with the principle. I don't like compromising either. Council Leo, I'll hand this over to you. Councilor Leo, it is simple. We don't compromise. It is no new direction. It is the same direction as always. We protest the biggest interests on the ship and maintain the social order that has worked for centuries. Inside this room, nothing changes. Then what was Councilor Mute going on about? Inside this room, nothing changes. Outside, we are the face of the reform. We are the best friend of the average man who got so excited to elect President Polk. President Polk will propose whatever nonsense he will propose, and we will say, yes, of course, we'll do that, with some changes. But we're just as interested as reform as you. But inside this room, nothing changes.
Ow!
And that's how it's done, boys and girls, efficiently and subtle. That way, Council Wu is perfect. He doesn't have an established track record. We put him as chief counselor, and he says he believes in reform. They're not going to be able to argue with that. Interesting.
$1,600 years? Wow, even older than I am, by a lot.
Come on, Counselor, surely you can see that this is what is appropriate for the moment. Like, under any other circumstances, you know I'd happily vote for you. Believe me, I've not safeguarded this ship's security for 1,600 years. Just hand it over to a bunch of fools, okay? But you know, sometimes you give them the stick. Sometimes you give them the carrot. Right now they need the carrot. Then we poison the carrot. Yeah, sure, whatever, that's some kind of metaphor. But you see my point, Counselor. Who else stands with you, Counselor Yang? Counselor Lee? Anyone else? Counselor Smith state strongly It is what I'm stepping down. The High Council needs a new face. A real new face. Not simply the same old established figures the President already hates. It is a good argument.
So Hold Mute named the new chief counselor that easily?
In that case, it doesn't look like anyone else is likely to get the 6-vote supermajority needed. Then it is... Alright, Counselor, I hope the Chief Counselor's faith in you isn't misplaced. I withdraw my nomination. Really? As a point of order, it is long past the point where we usually take a break. Is that a motion for recess? Yes. I'll second that. Very well. We'll reconvene in 1 hour. So... Amumu?
Yeah?
You wanna read that?
Oh, well, we've been at this for a while. Hey. I'm doing just fine, but I think you and I could really use a break from all this reading. I'm fine. I'm happy to get back to it. Okay, fine. I could really use a break. Feeling, I don't know, I guess it's like culture shock? I know what that's like. I'm really sorry. Oh, shut up. I don't want pity. I need a new few minutes to recontextualize things. You think that'd be okay?
Let's take a break.
Okay, thanks. I'd appreciate that too, really. Okay. I feel like the big thing to me is... like, what's up with the Hio family? I was attached to the Ryu family for 312 years, and I've seen a lot, okay? Like, I've seen shit as crazy as adoptive heirs taking the throne, and a queen who secretly manipulated the emperor behind his back. But I've never seen anything from a respectable noble family that's anything like what the Hio family was like. Does that seem normal to you?
Sometimes it happens.
Really? I guess even in your world it can't be helped. So like, is that why you're not married? Is it too hard to find women who understand how roles work?
Whoa.
Uh-huh.
Way to ask me a loaded question, Mute.
Uh-huh.
It's complicated.
Okay, fair enough. I guess there's no way you can explain that to me easily like this. Are you sure he understood your original question, though? What? It's rude to patronize a man like that. Of course he understood. Well, I kind of didn't, so could you please explain what you meant by that? Really? Isn't it obvious? Really? A family led by a woman. Like, Old Mute was clearly attached to the family for a long time, but how did it even happen that the main branch of the Hio family was run by a woman without any sons? Like, that inherently is a dead end, even ignoring the unsuitability of a woman for that kind of responsibility. Like, a Hio woman who couldn't have a son named Hio, so how does the branch even continue? Why are you looking at me? Well, you're from the barbaric past. Wasn't that a normal thing as far back as your times, too? Let me think. Yeah, I think so. I mean, I remember it was a pretty normal thing in all my books, but I was pretty young, so... Still, if it was in your books, it's not like your parents would have given you books full of stuff they realized was morally depraved or anything. Yeah, probably not. So how did that work then? Like, would the branch just change? Would one of the sons be adopted into the Hio family or what? Like, how did Old Mute know what person to be associated with after Seong Young was gone? Was she just suddenly change families? Like, what would her relationships be? I'm sorry, I have no idea. Oh. Sorry, I wish I could tell you, but, when I was really young, when I got frozen, remember? That's not the sort of thing 13-year-olds worry about. Okay. Hey, are you okay? Yes, I'm fine. Really, you're kinda crying. Oh, sorry, it's just... This is the first time anyone's ever been willing to take my views on how things were in the past. Seriously, or given any real sort of credit to my parents.
Ugh, that hurts.
Ooh. Ow. Oh, Hyunai. Thank you so much, Mute. Okay, let's just get back to work, okay? Maybe somehow it'll make more sense to me as I read. Thank you. Please knock it off, jeez. Mr. Investigator, rescue me from her. Ba-ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba.
Looks like it's extraction time. By the way, I love how they are the complete opposites of each other. She grew
They
up
kinda are, yeah.
She grew up in that time and ended up in Mute's time, where Mute started out in her time and then ended up in that time. Extract new messages. Hey look! Old Mute's the death of Mute.
Is there anything that, like, says that you've already read that?
Well, the ones that I picked before are already pink like this.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure if that was already a thing or not.
the pale bride gets mentioned in this one.
That's a little weird.
The pale bride. Let's see what this one's all about.
Did you say a boot?
Yes.
Oh, that's so cute.
It's translated as the pale bride instead of the sick daughter for convenience sake. The ship sailed on getting that one right a long time ago.
Oh, that's me. That's me. She's writing about me. Yes, dear, we know.
Apartment status. Bed is made. A few dishes needed to be washed. Takeout containers needed to be taken to the garbage. Floor is clean. After 2 days without any sort of breakthroughs and dozens of appeals without any form of acknowledgement, I believe I've discovered the evidence that I needed to provide definitive proof.
Well, I guess that story sort of came true after all, huh?
There's always been a bizarre family legend of an erratic but brilliant ancient earthbound ancestor who saved his terminally ill daughter through unconventional methods. In some tellings, she is a ghost that lives in the computer. In others, she sailed away in an alternate dimension. Through turmoil, the ship has landed on a planet with fresh air. I learned the truth from my grandma at the New Year's gathering. In reality, she does exist and is merely in chronological sleep in the family storage closet. I caught a glimpse of her at the gathering and realized that she was the key to proving my thesis. Today I returned with my husband to their home, having offered her a great-grandchild related bribe in order to have access to the sleeping bride to untest. My theory is, as she has not consumed food or water or breathable air in nearly 16,000 years, if there's been a significant increase in be it rations in that duration, she should be sufficiently less affected by it. Her chamber was seared practically by glass, so she may not be completely unaffected. But I anticipate that the difference will be really observable. The technology involved in her reservations seemed extraordinarily designed. I can't believe that it came from the same level of earthbound brilliance that built our ship.
Earthborn brilliance. Finally, someone who acknowledges that my real parents were smarter. So you respect some of your ancestors at
Well, my husband was gracefully distracting my grandparents by listening to the stories. I stepped up in the storage closet, attempting to open the capsule labeled Kim Hai Pale Bride. This this action was easily said than done. A separate, hacked together computer was regulating the capsule, but the label switch for opening it was non-operational. It took a significant while to figure out that I need to connect to the secondary battery instead of an override key to enable a switch. It did not help I was very temperous to fiddle with earthbound design technologies that was completely over my head. Accidentally causes with my clumsiness would have been disastrous.
Wait, how did she figure out when Kim Jong-soo couldn't? Okay, fuck! I've switched the... whatever. It seems obvious to me.
The warm-up cycle took a good 10 minutes as I watched her. I became very aware of the fact that she was a real girl, a very old one, an orphan who lost her family centuries ago, who likely had her own hopes and dreams. I found myself hoping that one day we would find a way to let her live the rest of her life, although given the state of modern medicine, optimism would sadly unfounded.
Very unfounded. Sorry. I did?
Even after she was brought back to life by the machine, she did not actually awaken, going from a near-death state to a merely sleeping. She looked very peaceful. I tried not to disturb her too badly when I took a small sample of her blood. Still, she started to open her eyes, mumbling quietly. "Who are you?" she asked. "Go back to sleep, little one," I said, touching her face gently. "It's not time to wake up yet." "Alright," she muttered, and she closed her eyes again.
I don't remember this at all.
I suddenly felt guilty and quickly put it back into the freezer where she belonged. Is it justable? Of course, she remained unharmed and would continue to rest peacefully. Now she would think of it as nothing more than a brief dream. And regardless of any discomfort I caused that poor child, proving my hypothesis may be necessary to ensure that society thrives until the future where she might awaken.
Oh well, it was for a good cause, so I don't mind.
After I rescued my brave husband and let my grandparents pass to me about our family's plans instead, I did not mind talking to them, and they discussed things more freely than the usual tone at large family gatherings. I was very alarmed to discover just how badly even the main branch had been going over the past couple of years, losing the consulship and therefore noticing status had.
You know, maybe it would have been better for everyone if she just kept you awake. I hadn't thought of that. You're right.
A great impact on everyone, not just me, although I still felt my situation is worse. Hopefully,
She sounds really obsessive. It's worrying.
however, the situation will only be temporary. The data received from analyzing the pale brides.
That's me. Kim Hyun-I. Look, there's even a photo of me. Girl, you do not look familiar at all.
Well, this is supposed to be her aged up a bit.
Yes.
The pale blood sample supports my theory, and I'm confident it will. I should give it enough strength that it will be taken seriously again. Things may not improve on the short term, but they will eventually. Of this I have confidence.
how that was a problem even in the past?
Next on the list, the proposed Motherhood Credit Act. I am tabling this one myself. You can find the text of this act in the 10th index of the session agenda, as well as relevant charts and data in the 11th through 14th. We are surely burning through the appendix fast. My apologies, I'll try to keep this one concise. Then, since I know you've all read about this one anyways, we are approaching a seriously dramatic problem right now. Birth rates shipwide have been declining for years. The plan, simply put, is to provide an economic incentive for families to raise children. Exactly what sort of numbers are they proposing? I feel like I'm being buried underneath a giant pile of data. How much is this credit for?
Well, actually, I guess it'd be worse without marriage being respected, huh?
Nothing's being buried, it is just thoughtless. Chief Counsel Smith wouldn't have allowed an item to be introduced with 4 apprentices. They've been available before and for months. I haven't read them either. I've read them, it is just unclear. What are the actual numbers? It is a complete breakdown with a number of factors. The bottom line, though, is that it will average to 20,000 silvers for noble families per year, and 5,000 silvers for peasant families per year. Let the record show that Chantilly just let out a long whistle, which I'm seconding. Those are big numbers. Counselor Yang, I don't object on principle, but I would like an assumption that this isn't going to impact my department budget. It's already stretched thin. Everybody's stretched thin. The project makes it seem like it's going to have a significant cost attached to it. Like I'm not just opposed either. I get the benefits. It's just, the stability I'm worried about. Chief Counselor Ryu. Counselor Smith, if you would. Right, there's no question this would be costly. We're looking for long-term results. But certainly this is not a project that can be sustainable in the long term. If you look at Appendix 14, you'll see that the project cost for the next 10 years will require a 15% tax increase. That's a lot. However, the project also shows that with the estimated population increase and this being conservative, don't worry, we'll see an even payout after about 22 years with a significant increase.
I don't really get it, but isn't this sort of related to what Kim So-Yi was talking about? Oh, yes.
So how does that work? Appendix 15 is a report by the Makara University Department of Economics. You'll find that it explains thoroughly. Certainly, Counselor, but humor me. How does it work? Well, basically, when the population goes up, it means the workforce increases, which means there's more people to do more jobs. So there's an increase in tax revenue overall, but a decrease in government labor costs, which is always the pain in the ass, pretty much. Really? I'm sure the Council of Education will vouch for the quality of the university's findings. Yes, of course, I'll stand by it. Very well then.
Jeez, what's with her arguing with a man like that? I'd never.
Uncle okay, but here's my problem. If you increase tax on the lower class by 15%, there'll be riots. Like, my office will be on fire within a week. And it turns out that the cost even more of the money that's already tight to fraud. We're talking extra straight out riots. It's a security problem. But the benefit would be...
Even if you knew he was wrong? If I thought he was wrong, I would try to understand my misunderstanding was. That's the mature thing to do, okay?
I get what the benefits would be. It just doesn't offset the cost of, you know, office on fire.
Oh no.
More workers would be a pretty good thing, though. Are you really going to exercise the security veto over this?
Is it? Don't worry, Ignite. It's okay. I know you'll get it eventually.
If I may, a possible solution might be to offer the tax increase onto the noble classes. This is a terrible idea. Just to hell with the whole act, I say. Now it's a good idea. Now it's a good idea. Peasants off having children is something. I'm all for peasants raising happy families, not setting fire to anything. To be perfectly clear, I'm very much in favor of the not setting fire to things option, okay? The Council of Secretary may be over-dramatizing a little. Don't sound so certain we need to find some sort of consolation for the reference to carry out President Sprocket's saying school credit idea. It's just addressing a serious social issue. This was undercut Hulk. If it's not this, it will have to be something else. I don't care, I'm not voting for any act that will require tax increase, let alone one supported by noble families alone. Yes, me neither. This is certainly going nowhere fast. Counselor Smith? Yeah? I'm sure something can be changed to address the council's concerns, right? Well, we could probably just take the funding from the surplus. It's all balanced out in the end anyways. I don't think to submit any numbers on that, though. According to Council of State, it is correct that no new taxes were alleviated on either the peasants or noble classes. Would anyone object? It would be okay by me, assuming the Council of State is correct. No, there would be no objections. Yeah, fine, whatever, I don't care.
I guess it went through in the end, right?
I would have no problems. Well, what they all said. Great, Counselor Smith, please provide a new report on the feasibility of surplus financing of the Motherhood Credit Act. This item is tabled until they move on. Grandmother knows best. Room status relatively free of divots. No laundry on the floor. Futon still in road. Heavily appointed doing it this time of day. No dishes in room. That's just about good enough for me. Today was pretty exhausting at work. We're still doing cleanups from the fire on Monday, and I'm low enough on the ladder to get stuck in a room full of ash all day. I also meant to order to catch up on all my project works. I had to do 2 hours of overtime afterwards. It was not my idea of fun. I can't figure out what the occasion is, but for some reason when I got home from work, half the main branch of the family seemed to be in the living room. Even my grandmother. The Counselor of Engineering himself.
Counselor Kim, old meat, was pretty antagonistic towards him. He was the Counselor of Engineering.
Was there shockingly. I walked to go lie down in the hole in my room. But given how rare an event this is, socially obligated interference. After thanking my grandfather for getting me the job once more, which he seemed non-pulsated to the subject of, my grandmother instantly dominated the conversation by asking if I had found a man yet.
Kim Sung-yi's grandmother was married to the Counselor of Engineering.
My sad response, I would love to, but work keeps getting in my way. She apparently didn't buy it. Why not?
I really like that she's an engineer. Why would a Kim woman need to have a job?
Why not? Isn't engineering a male-dominated field? She asked. It is not wrong, but nearly every single man is either named Kim or married to someone named Kim. There's few exceptions like my boss, the gross one who forced me to clean up ashes instead of doing important work. I left the last part out in my answer to grandmother.
Yeah, that's exactly what I wanted to grow up to be like too. She understands. Well, I don't.
It's not like I don't want to find someone. I'm sure I would like to move out to my parents' house and have someone for companionship, and eventually have kids when my career gives me the time for it. I'm not opposed to marriage. I really want it, but I don't think I'm brave enough to say. The only reason why I've gotten to 22 years old without ever having a boyfriend is because I'm hopeless with men in front of the entire main branch of family.
Wow, still unmarried at 22? That poor woman. Oh, wait, fuck. God damn it. I was like, wait, that doesn't sound like her. God. I really don't think that's that unusual.
Or even in front of anyone. I'm pretty much embarrassed, even writing this in my diary, where nobody but me is gonna read it. So I think I was supposed to be offended when she asked, "What if I found someone for you?" But it actually seemed like a reasonable enough idea. She has good judgment, probably, and I don't believe in nonsense like love at first sight. The idea of getting together with someone, though, through a matchmaker doesn't sound very hard to justify. Besides, if I don't like whoever she picks, I can just say no. So I asked, "Do you have someone in mind?" She seemed pretty taken aback by that. My parents, not so much. They didn't say anything.
Her grandmother sounds like a good woman, at least, even if it's late. I'm just jealous that she was able to say no.
The bottom line is that it seems I now have a marriage interview with Mr. Opinion at some point next month.
Mr. Pyeon, the old man Kim Sung-yi was going to have a marriage interview with.
Opinion is very sweet, dressed handsomely, and works as a cook for a living. Those all sound like good things to me, although I worry about what sort of man would resort to matchmaking. Well, I'm not one to talk. I think it's good to be fairly weird, but I'm looking forward to it. Alright, everything will be alright.
Of course he doesn't share your optimism.
Room status dirty. At long last, my financial report has been completed. I had to get someone else to submit it for me. But finally, my work is starting to pay off. I have an audience with the Council of Engineering to present the matter of his consideration. I was so happy to write the recommends the recommendations section. However, thinking about the future and how I could do work that was actually recognized as valuable and help safeguard the ship future, it makes me feel as though I have a purpose once more. It is a feeling I'd forgotten over these past few years, but I would like to remember it again. My husband does not share my optimism. Things have been strained as we talk of late. We have never been able to communicate under the best of circumstances, but even more now I feel as though there is a wedge between us. When I told him about having a chance to prove myself and how I was looking forward to the future, he just seemed upset. I wanted him to be proud of me for making this fail. Despite all the difficulties, I wanted him to be as supportive of me as he was from the start.
Did he just give up on her? Oh, jeez. Oh, no.
I want to feel like I'm not doing this alone. I play with him as we get ready for bed. What are you gonna do if they ignore you after all that? What are you gonna do with what you want? What then? He asked me. He seemed disappointed. Have you ever considered that possibility?
Oh. She just doesn't get it.
It is unlikely that Data is.
Why are they fighting? I thought he was good for her. It's hard, but he should have been like this a long time ago for her own good.
It is unlikely that Data is irrefutable and easy to understand. Rationally is unquestionable. The cause of decreased fatality on the Mughwa, I told him. I've considered that no reasonable person could disagree with my report. Fine, I'm sure it is. He trailed off. I don't care, I'm going to bed now. He turned his back to me. Wait, I said, pulling over to sit in front of him. What if I did make plans for the extremely unlikely event that things did not work? Would that make you happy? Forget it, he said, annoyed. I mean it, I said. I do not want to be the cause of you being upset. I want things to be accommodative between us again. I'm willing to make contingencies for things that I do not believe will occur if it is something that'll make you happy. I don't know what the hell that means. You're doing that thing where you talk over my head, and I hate that, he scowled. I'm sorry, I said.
Okay, like, this is just painful to read.
If you want me to consider that things might not work out, I'll consider it. Let's consider it. I don't think it'll happen, but there's no harm in considering it. What is the point? I'm sure you'll find something smart around it in the end. Anyways, you can just go back to your self-obsessed science project shit in the end. You always do, he said angrily. Please don't say that, I said, my voice quivering. You're my husband, I love you more than anything. Please, don't you stop taking me seriously too. He looked away, and there was a long pause. I felt like crying. When just minutes before I was so happy. Eventually, he made eye contact with me. He seemed to be confused. Sorry, he said in a sleepish manner. Do you really mean that? You love me? Yes, of course, I stated. You've never said that to me before, he said. I was skeptical. Are you sure, I asked? I'm absolutely positive, he told me. I was sure he was wrong, but as he had just apologized to me, I saw no reason to worsen things by arguing. Well, I do, I said. I love you very much. Come here, you, he said, grabbing me, pulling me on his lap, just like the old days. He hugged me and I was unable to stop myself from crying at that moment. What is wrong, he asked. I'm happy, I told him. Oh, he said. Let's make fallback plans, I said, in case I am unable to convince them. What would you like? He was quiet for a moment.
I'm so glad. Yeah.
I want to have kids, he said. Not just because it would help with the money. I just want to have kids. I want to have a girl, an adorable little girl, who will be smart and pretty and dedicated just like her mother. After that, maybe we can have a couple of boys. She'll have to learn to keep them in line, but I can teach her that. I can teach her science. Alright, I said. You promise, he asked?
It's so nice that they agreed on these things together. He's so nice. Yeah, good for him.
After all this is done, if you presumptions doesn't lead to a job, you promise me you'll settle down and we'll try to have kids. I can make no promise regarding to gender, but I promise if my presentation is unsuccessful, I will give up and we'll try to have kids, I said. It seemed to be.
Oh, never mind. Jeez, you didn't even mean it. Can't you see you'd be happier that way?
It seemed to comfort him a great deal. I felt guilty and hoped that he did not have his hopes up. It is unlikely that the report will be ignored, so I will not be following through on that promise. In the future, maybe we will anyway. But it was a promise that would not lead to anything, because I'm certain that I will be very busy in the future. I hope it does not disappoint him. I'm happy now, though. I'm optimistic for the future. I have the audience with that will lead to something being done about our society's greatest problems. And with the irrefutable and extensive proof I have completed.
Wait, but that date is right before... Oh, I get it. Right before the computers were wiped. Yeah.
I'll be able to be taken seriously again. In just a matter of days, I will be on track again. I'm also happy because after I promised that, he took me by the chin, smiled, and said to me, I'm going to hold you to that. I'm also going to kiss you now. I nodded. I would like that, I told him. When he did, I never had felt such relief in my life. I had my husband caring about me again. I had a future. I had value and a purpose. And finally, it will not just be me repeating those things to myself. I have preserved for song, and soon it will pay off in just a matter of days.
Well, at least she had such a sweet husband at her side. That's what counts, but she must have been devastated.
I also enjoyed the kiss aside from its symbolic meaning. It simply felt very nice. I could have melted in his arms right there. I'm certain everything will be alright. Politics make strange bedfellows.
Huh. This has a different feeling than with the other log with him. Just as uncomfortable, though.
We met former Chief Colin Smith at Royal, the same place we did 7 years ago. The same platform was before. This time, though, Mute arrived exactly on schedule. You know, ladies, I don't envy you at all, he said. It's so nice to look at what happened to the Mungungha Council and think, not my problem anymore. The last time I saw you, Miss Hill, you still had black hair. I'll sleep when I'm dead, I said. I don't have time for it otherwise. How's your family? Mute asked politely. Must be nice to have as much time as you do, as you want to spend with them. Oh, please, like either of you care about my family, he scowled. I still keep up with current events, you know? I know exactly why you're here. You screwed up. And your poster boy for mediocrity didn't turn out the way you planned, did he?
I don't get if old Mute put Emperor Tayo into power, why she'd want to take it away.
He looked at me, expected a response. I I guess last time I was easily baited by him. Not this time. I let counsel me to the talking. She had far more confidence than I was able to muster anymore. Yep, we sure did, she said, smiling. No yawing, no denying, no insult, no sass. You must be desperate if you're willing to admit that right off, he said, actually taken aback by honesty. We created a monster, plain and simple, she said.
This isn't right.
Stiffly looking off, annoyance. It was a bad call. Who could have known underneath all that shy uselessness was a secret totalitarian. He's out of control, I said, trying to restrain too much of the scorn from the man who had a power in murdering my own husband. He really is, Mute said. What you want from me? I have no political power anymore. These young men have taken over politics. There's no place anymore for old men like me. You still look young to me, she said.
Respecting elders is the most important, but this isn't... But wouldn't old Mute be the eldest by far?
The conversation paused briefly as we ordered food. Wine being poured for both Smith and I. Oh, we can't all live forever. Guess it must be a lot worse to be an old woman in politics than an old man these days, he said. Honestly though, I might seem like I've gotten softer, but I still hate your guts, Counselor Mute.
Like, she's just bringing her up to be manipulative, isn't she, though?
You were the biggest pain in my ass for my entire career. I think you got what you had coming. Good. I'd have no use for you if you didn't. Mr. Smith, I'm about to propose something absolutely crazy, okay? And the only way we would ever be able to pull it off is if ever someone who hates me is on board with this, she said. And I know what you care about. I know what you care all about is how it's the best interest on the ship. You are wrong. What I care about is the best interest for my grandchildren. Oh, don't be panic. They're lying, and you know it. Like you think this is just abstract point to me? I've got children in my family too, you know. Ensuring a safer future for the ship means ensuring a safer future for my family's title, Shohu. And your girls too, Mute said. In that moment, I admitted I admired her more than I'd ever had. I knew she cared, but I never thought she would speak about my daughters in such a affectionate tone before. I could tell she wasn't just saying that for Smith's sake. And it was an awfully sweet sentiment of her to express. Fine, what is your proposal, he asked. You got until you finish eating to convince me. I'm going to be upfront. What I'm proposing is nothing short of an armed coup d'etat. I want you to depose Chief Counsel Ryu and his entire council of destructive yes men before he manages to completely gut ship security for good, Mute said, pounding her fist in her palm. I'm going to stake everything on this.
Whoa, her a rebellion? Mute? Holy shit, she's serious!
You're serious, Smith said, actually taken aback. Okay, good, I finally got your attention, she smirked. She explained the situation in details. The culture of the new council, the slow manipulation over the course of the past 7 years, the conspiracy to private armies of eliminating monitors, the engineering of his victory in the election by arresting the president, the mode of the one good man enough to stand up to Ryu's conspiring and playthings. the university. She was really fired up. It reminded me of good old days, when our problems were so much simpler. When I was still young, she still had that beautiful golden hair, and we were too strong to be scared of anything. I saw that in her again. Listening to speak like that, so impressive, so cool.
She really idolized her, huh? That's not the important part!
I just knew. At her side, we could pull things right again. Finally, she finished, and there was a long pause. Do you really think you can pull it off? He asked at last. I'll let my lieutenant finish this one, she said. Miss Hero? I tried to muster up the same confidence in my voice that she had. Unambiguously, I said. I know my man and woman very well. They are both well-trained and loyal. I've made discreet inquiries, and I've already put to a list of 30 officers that I'm prepared to trust my life with my life. Ever since word got out that Chief Consul plans to slash our budget in half to boast his own private army of electoral monitors, he had been extremely unpopular man in security. This is dependent on us acting swiftly, though. Right now we're outnumber them nearly 7 to 1. But that advantage is going to become narrower and narrower the more the Chief Counselor attempts to starve our department. As well, own NA must be aware we are onto her. Given the sudden public reveal of her relations with Ryu, I told him. But if we are to strike swiftly and catch them off guard at our strongest, I have no doubts we'll be able to assume control within a day. Even if I'm convinced that such a drastic measure is really necessary, do you expect me to take on the risk of supporting you? He asked. No, I don't want you to. It will look bad, you said immediately. I want no part of the revolution to be traceable back to you. What I want, our set of faces I can trust to form the Morgan High Council. You want me to be a new counselor secretary? He said. I want the past 7 years to have never happened, Mute said. I'll settle for putting the council back the way it should have been. I want you to be the old chief counselor. I want to have those argumentative idiots back on the council like even Kim and O. I know you can do that for me. What if I refuse, he asked. Then nothing happens. I won't have you replaced with someone I can't trust. That isn't a mistake I'm going to make twice, she said flatly. You refuse, then we walk away. A good man dies for nothing, and our grandchildren grow up in a totalitarian, neo-Confucial dystopia. It's your call. He paused pensively. You really think you'll be able to pull this off? Counselor Mute, he finally asked. With a single elegant gesture, she produced a cigarette and lit it. Take a drag and blows it dramatically. It was the coolest in that moment. I knew that she was the same old badass Mute that.
This isn't right. This isn't right at all.
I'd always believed in. I just watched Mr. Smith, she said, projecting the utmost confidence. By the end of the dinner, we got him to pledge to leave retirement once we were successful. Oh shit, Old Mute was the cause of the rebellion.
Should we take a break? Actually, Mute, there's something I'd like to talk about if you don't mind. Okay, sure. I always thought when I was alive and sick that I'd left to be free of my body. That it'd be great to be free of all its stupid fragility. Turns out not so much. Not so much. Like, I have a simulation of arms and legs and a face, so I don't go mad, but... Wait, you do? Yeah, you know, your body sort of affects the way you think, so it's important. I remember my real father telling me something about that as a kid. You're the same program as me, and I don't have that. Huh? I keep telling you I'm not the same program. We're not even the same base code. Jeez. I had a lot of time to myself, so I programmed that in myself. Wait, like, you can do that? You changed my code? I changed my code. Look, this isn't what I wanted to talk about. I was trying to say that even still, I really miss having a body a lot. I mean, it's been so exciting to talk to people finally. Even you, Mute. Glad to hear it. I just really miss, well, touch. Especially while reading about things like Yoseo Young going on fancy political dinners. I just wish... Hey, when we reach Earth, you'll get me a body, right?
Of course.
Kunai. I guess it really isn't much of a choice. It's just really important to me. What about you, Mute? I don't know if anything, that sort of thing. So obviously I don't miss it. But aren't you curious? Don't you want to know what it's like to feel, to touch? I don't really have any use for that. But you've been in love before, right? I'm still a woman, Hyunai. How do you think Smith Sang-young would feel? Don't you think he'd want you to be able to touch? If you could? Don't just invoke something like that so casually! Sorry. But he did, of course. Sometimes I would even render myself with my hair let down in front of him. He liked that. Jeez, why am I telling you this, though? I think that would be really nice. You could find out just how heavy the real version of that giant headdress you used to wear was. I wonder what it would be like to have hair again. Could it be blown in the wind? Would it be fluffy? I wouldn't really know. Makes me think of Ryu Jaiwa, my husband's wife. She'd comfort me and brush my hair. I could do that for you if you wanted. Why would I want that? Well, it's just a thought because I liked it an awful lot. Now that I think of it, I don't remember what it feels like to be touched like that. I don't remember touch at all. Do you think you'd be able to remind me, Mr. Investigator? Maybe we could hug and you could touch my hair? Oh, well, that's good. I don't even remember the feeling of that anymore, but I know it was really comforting. I really don't want to be stuck behind a computer screen forever. I just want to remember what it's like to be touched. Jeez, Hyunai, that's just way too brazen. Please don't get jealous on me because he said yes. What? No. I don't. Jeez, I don't want that. I don't want it from you or him or anyone else. My hair stays up. Sorry, I didn't think it mattered that much to you. I will not be teased by a love-struck girl with a fixation on hair fluffiness. Like, if this is what taking a break is like, I'd rather get back to work. Okay, so we're out of power.
Oh no. I'm getting flashbacks.
PTSD. Okay, so we're pretty much out of power for the day. I know we wasted most of today's power on all the debugging, so you should apologize again. What? But it's not my fault. Well, I'm sorry, and I'm sorry about her. Why are you so mean? I'm not being mean, you're just being disrespectful. Jeez. Enough of the childish bickering, Kunai. The important thing is that that's all we can do for today. No matter how you look at it, it's going to take us 3 days to get through with this all. Oh, maybe it's for the better that we paced it out anyway. It's not as if it's going to have a happy ending. I don't know what you're talking about. It all ended perfectly okay.
Right.
I don't want to wait. This whole time limit thing sucks. I'd stay up all night reading if I could. Anyway, we can't. I'm looking forward to tomorrow, though. Alright, the Lunar New Year's tomorrow. Yep. Well, let's let him do any of his rituals first and then get back to us. But I want to get a new hanbok to show it off for him. And have Tinguk and... dear, you're a computer program. You cannot have soup. But you're a computer program, so you can have soup. It's not possible. Don't be weird, okay? Fine. Anyway, right, like we're out of power today. I'll give you a button to shut everything down for the night. So whenever you're ready, just click on that. Okay, that's all. I still want to do all the proper New Year's stuff, though. Oh, shush. We'll be spending the new year reading about old Mute, our ancestor. That's close enough, isn't it? She's not my ancestor. Okay, whatever, we're not getting into this right now. Just click shutdown button when you're all done, Mr. Investigator.
Power down until tomorrow. Oh, thank God.
Oh my god. So... Are you sure you want to shut down for today?
Ah, jeez.
Okay, I'll just let you go ahead and save your data first.
Well, if you insist. Oh, hey, that's nice.
Okay, all done. Well, good night. And I can't wait until tomorrow. You want to call it there for today, too?
Yeah. End of day 1.
Day 1! Wow!
Well, it even brings us back to the main menu.
Well, this game's interesting.
Yeah. It is a lot different than the first one.
I hope it's a lot easier.
It seems easier. We haven't had to do any coding.
God, I hated that coding.
I mean, the last one just literally jumped us right into coding.
Any fun plans for the weekend?